So here are the answers to the questions at the end of the previous chapter. Why don't you pause the video and tick them off? Hope you got them all right. The Earth's atmosphere. Today's atmosphere. Now, our atmosphere has been pretty stable for about the last 200 million years. It stayed at around about 80% nitrogen and about 20% oxygen, with small amounts of other gases, CO2, water vapour and the noble gases. Higher tier candidates. As air is a mixture of gases of different boiling points, it can be separated into the different gases using fractional distillation, as we've seen with crude oil. The separated fractions can be used as a source of materials in industry. There are different theories about how today's atmosphere developed. One theory is that the early atmosphere contained mostly CO2, which was released by the intense volcanic activity of that time. Water vapour was also released in large amounts, and that condensed to form the oceans. It's thought that there was little or no oxygen gas present, but there were small amounts of methane and ammonia. Now it's thought that as plants and algae evolved and photosynthesized, they absorbed CO2 and released oxygen. Don't ever say they breathed in CO2 and breathed out oxygen though. That's not right. They absorbed CO2 and released O2. Now, much of the carbon dioxide also dissolved in the oceans, and a lot of it formed carbonates, which became locked up in the shells and skeletons of the marine organisms, which then sedimented to form limestone rock. Carbon dioxide was also locked up in fossil fuels. There are a lot of theories about how life began on Earth. None of them can be proved, because we're not sure of the exact conditions that existed at the time, and of course nobody was around to see it, so we don't know. But there are some theories which are supported by the evidence which is available to us nowadays. The Miller-Urey experiment is very famous. You need to be able to describe it. In this experiment, the two scientists attempted to create amino acids. Now these are the monomers needed to make proteins which are essential for life, and they attempted to do this in a lab using only the conditions that we think were present at the earliest time of the Earth. So what they were trying to do is demonstrate that proteins could have been made in the conditions that we thought existed in the earlier times of the Earth. They left this experiment running for a week, and then they found that amino acids had been formed. Now this demonstrated that the early atmosphere would have been suitable for creating the molecules essential for life. So here is the experiment. Over on the right there, they had water simulating the ocean being heated. So water vapour passed around the apparatus, and it passed into that round flask there, where it mixed with methane, CH4, ammonia, NH3, and hydrogen gas. So we had all these gases mixing, and we had electrodes which were continually sparking for the whole duration of the experiment, and this simulated lightning. So this all simulated what we thought was going on in the early atmosphere. Now, any large molecules that were made in these reactions condensed, and they drained down into the cooled water, and they found that the cooled water contained amino acids among other things. So this cooled water simulates what scientists describe as the primordial soup. Okay, time to test yourself then. Away you go. Good luck. Okay, so here are the answers to the last chapter in Chemistry Unit 1. Well done, good work, keep going.